stay until we soothe our soul. It takes all that.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Welcome, boys and girls, children of all ages, kings and queens.
And mac and cheese.
Of the Northeast Kingdom, woodchucks and chuckettes, hoofties, pufties, bung-eyed heifers. You're all welcome here. Get down, Rick, or Mohammed. And where is here? Oh, yeah, that's right. Thank you, Philo. You're watching It's Do Josh. We're Newport Vermont, oldest TV news. What's this new? And we're advised you got some adult language, adult themes. Well, maybe not.
And a woman in yellow pants and butt.
Yeah. Well, we try and be clean, but every now and then one does slip out.
Yeah, like a fart in church.
Oh, yeah. And again, I got a new High Times this week, as usual. You can see right through it because it's transparent. And they do have some
and you
news.
can be too if you smoke enough of it.
Yeah. You can see right through it. And
what is this you got on anyway?
Oh, it's the Darktown Strutters, man. This is one of the blaxploitation movies from the 70s. It is really something. I can't show the end, of course, because I'm not even supposed to show the beginning. But there's no audio, and we do have a loophole for what is it? Commentary, criticism, and education. So I'm commenting on the film about the black girls. I'm criticizing it from a cinematic aspect. And it's educational, because where else are you going to see the Darktown Strutters, you know? But anyways...
That was pretty good. He got on his motorcycle, made it 4 feet, and fell.
Yeah, like the Pee Wee Herman movie, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope you find your bike, man. He goes blasting off right through a sign. Anyways, last fall... 56% of Oregonians endorsed Measure 91, which permits 21 and older to possess up to 8 ounces and grow 4 plants for non-commercial. For the second time, proved to be the charm in Alaska, 52% endorsed Measure 2, which allowed the establishment of commercial cannabis and retail sales for people over 21. Also permits private possession up to an ounce. Now, I had thought Alaska had been legal since the 70s, and it's true. For personal consumption. By doing so, the forthcoming law will codify the legal protections that have been in place in Alaska since 1975, when the state Supreme Court ruled that Alaskans have a constitutional right to possess small quantities of whatever the hell they want in their own homes. Alaska and Oregon are the third and fourth states to enact regulations. And let's see. In D.C., voters in South Portland, Maine, in Massachusetts, several districts, but in Florida, they won. They needed 60% support. They got 58%, and except for the group age 65 and older, go figure. And overall support held firm throughout the campaign despite a high-profile, last-minute, multi-million-dollar blitz of attack ads funded by out-of-state GOP conservative operative Shelley Sheldon Adelson. Hoy! You know, he's an old red-headed guy who owns casinos in Macau, and he's basically a money launderer is what he is.
Oh, he runs it through the washing machine.
That's it. He washes it good all off the coast of China. And I'll tell you what, man, because if you know the Orientals, nobody can gamble like the Orientals can. And it's Adelson, who attempted to conflate medical weed with caregivers and drug dealers, of course.
Well, okay, one goes with the other, I guess.
Oh, yeah. And anyways, they tried to shut down Silk Road. They did. And here we are. We talk about the racism involved in busting people for weed. New York cities were transfixed when Bill Bratton had a new news conference with the new mayor, and he had a 25-gram bag of oregano. During Michael Bloomberg's 3 terms as mayor, it became the marijuana arrest capital of the world, with 50,000 people busted every year for weed. Under de Blasio, it's dropped to 28,000. However, the racial disparity remains, with blacks and Latinos making up 86% of those busted for weed minor possession last year. Under the new city policy, possession of up to 25 grams, I think there's 28 grams in an ounce, something like that. 25 grams will result in a ticket, not an arrest. And, you know, we're supposed to have that here, but they still, the pigs will still bust you. And speaking of busted, you know, it's funny. We've said this on the show before. I don't know if you can see that one, Philo, but yeah, oh, there's the Saudi House of Saud right there. Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
Go get him.
Yeah.
Akbar's out there.
Akbar! Akbar! It says Saudi Arabia goes on a beheading spree. See, because, you know, if the Islamic State takes people's heads off, well, you know, that's a travesty, you know. But if Saudi Arabia does it, that's okay, because they're a monarchy and they're our friends, don't you know?
Yes, gives us lots of Earl.
Oh, yeah, they got all that Euro. Even as the Islamic State, a.k.a. ISIS, sparked global outrage, Saudi Arabia, a key ally, has been on a beheading spree of its own, executing people at the rate of more than one a day. In the first 3 weeks of August, 4 people were beheaded on August 18th for hash smuggling. Another was beheaded the next day for sorcery.
What?
I am not kidding you.
Are you kidding me?
Look it up, Philo. That would be August 19th. He was beheaded for sorcery. The regime boasted that King Abdullah is taking aggressive measures against the social ills of narcotics. Amnesty International found that some of the people were executed reportedly on the basis of forced confessions extracted through torture. Where have we heard that before?
Mr. Cheney calling Mr. Cheney.
Gitmo, Cheney, Bush, Cheney, Gitmo. And let's see, two more here.
I wonder how many more have been beaten and or killed for blasphemy.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
How many?
I don't know. I'm just saying. I'll look it up. I'll tell you what. While you're doing the show, I'll look it up for you. And I'll see if I can find it.
If you get the
numbers, to me, as far as I'm concerned, the Saudis are the worst of the worst.
They are. They're scumbags. They're scumbags and a dish dash. A dish dash being that outfit they wear, boys and girls, with that thing on the head and the man dress.
I'm gonna beat your dog now.
Yeah, Mac.
He's smiling too well.
Mac.
So badly done for. Oh, poor Mac.
That dog is.
Go.
He's so spoiled. Mac, come here.
Uh-oh. What happened here?
Oh, that's okay. That's a little tape weedle. It'll work itself out.
Okay.
And anyways, this talks about responsible growing. Electricity consumption is causing a huge increase in our carbon footprint, but that's been forced on us by the government. We need large spaces for greenhouses located away from pristine areas. Right now, it's the Wild West in the mountains. He's talking about California and out west. People snatch up a piece of land and then it's chainsaws and tractors. I've seen the damage in the aerial photography. And we are leaving a big carbon footprint when we could use a million bazillion watts right up in the sun. And last but not least, Philo, you're into heavy metal, right?
Oh yeah, it depends. Not all, but some.
Who are the Insane Clown Posse, Philo?
You know, I only saw them once a long time ago, and I don't really know much about them.
Well, basically, they're kind of a band like Kiss, right?
Sorta, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they play heavy metal or hard rock or whatever, and they dress up like clowns. And, well, guess they made the gang list. You know, this is insane. Yeah. The FBI has got them on a gang list.
I heard about that, yeah.
It's nuts. And the fans who are called themselves juggalos, guess what? If you're a juggalo, you're a member of a dangerous gang. Chalk up yet another example of America demonizing those who choose to be different. And so anyways, they read the FBI report to Jay and Shaggy from the band, and they said most crimes committed by juggalos are sporadic, disorganized, individualistic, and often involve simple assault, personal drug use, and possession, petty theft, and vandalism, said the FBI report. However, open source reporting suggests a small number of juggalos are forming more organized subsets and engaging in more gang-like criminal activity and felony assault, robberies and drug sales.
I got it right here. Insane Clown Posse is an American hip-hop duo from Detroit.
Oh, flip-flop.
Yeah, the group is composed of Joseph Bruce and Joseph Utzler, who perform under their respective personas of Wicked Clowns. Evidently, it's a hip-hop band. It's not a metal band.
Huh. I'll be damned. I thought they were metal.
I did too, but evidently, I'm going to look it up a little further here.
The report also claimed that the Juggalos had infiltrated the Army and Air Force, meaning their ranks now included military-trained members. Oh my God, be afraid, be very, very afraid.
Huh. Insane Clown Posse. Looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them here. But,
They've been around for like 25 years now.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of them way back in the 90s, yeah.
Yeah. And so anyways, and it's just like the FBI with this guy. They got some kid who lives in his parents' basement or something out in Ohio. I think it's around Cleveland or whatever. And they tried to load him up with pipe bombs. Now, mind you, this kid doesn't know how to make a bomb. He doesn't know how to do anything. He can barely read or write, if that, right? Yep. And so they set him up and gave him money, just like they did with all these other people that they'd entrapped into trying to be terrorists, so that they can make the news and justify their nice big chairs and offices for their big fat FBI butts. And so they got this kid in Cleveland, and his parents were on Free Speech TV, and they're all like, I mean, come on, he's got the mind of an 11-year-old. What the heck? And so, anyways, if you see a car with a Hatchet Man sticker, and pull it over for probable cause, said one cop. The correct answer should be no. But in a question that arose at a Juggalo seminar for law enforcement officials in Arizona, these types of seminars have been increasingly frequent. Anyways, one member of law enforcement in the Midwest spoke on the condition of anonymity. There are two reasons for this. One is he's providing what could be termed intelligence. The other is he's a Juggalo himself. He goes to the Clown Posse concerts and has attended a gathering or two. And I can be terminated for that, the cop said. I mean, just for going to a Clown Posse show. He went to a gathering in Illinois in 2012. When he returned to work, he was called to a supervisor's office, and a supervisor found out through his Facebook page. There's your ticket, boys and girls. No face pages. No pictures. Stay dark. Don't be stupid.
I wouldn't be on that for anything.
Oh, I'm telling you.
I did find one thing here. Last year, from January to October, 59 people were beheaded in Saudi Arabia, called Punishment by the Sword.
So almost 60 people beheaded in Saudi Arabia.
Probably by the end of the year, even more than that.
Yeah, and we're cool with that. We are totally cool with that.
Yep.
No problem. Absolutely no problem. And man, do I love this new Pope. I still got the old hat, but we love it, the new Pope.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Yeah, Domini, all you kiddies, drop you pants and sit on the lap of Father, pet and feel ya. Mac, look what you did to that house. And here we are. Get this. Here's two of them. Storm cut short at the Pope's trip to Typhoon ravaged the city. To Torn City. There's the Popey there. Yay, Popey. And it looks like we got a good one. Oh, yeah. And speaking of which, free trade and all this Chinese stuff, right? You're going to love this one, Philo. This is from Sunday's paper, January 18th. Authorities confirmed 22 people died in the capsize of a brand new tugboat on a test voyage in eastern China, after rescuers dragged the overturned vessel to shallow waters and searched it Saturday. 4 Singaporeans, an Indian, and an Indonesian, Japanese, and Malaysian were among the dead in the accident on the Yangtze River, and 14 other victims were Chinese. The newly built, 98-foot-long Wang Shenzhou 67 was on a test voyage in the Fubai Channel in Jiangsu province when it suddenly turned over. Ship's owner, part suppliers, and engineers were among 25 people all aboard for test. 3 people were rescued, all are Chinese. Okay then, great. I want to go out and buy me a brand new Chinese tugboat.
Well, there's more about this Saudi business here. These guys get paid extra to do this. And this one guy who started his trade in 1988 said that many of the beheaders in Saudi Arabia come from a long line of executioners, an occupation passed from generation to generation.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you want to be good at your job, man.
And it isn't just beheadings. They cut off hands, arms, legs, feet, things like that.
And these jackalopes, they're talking about free speech, you know, and in Saudi Arabia, they I've got it here somewhere. They won't flog the blogger. The guy set up a blog, and the Saudis they flog these. He's going to get 1,000 lashes, boys and girls. That means he's going to be whipped on the bare back 1,000 times, and we're okay with that too, because the guy had the temerity to start his own blog. And here we are, finally, the Pope is talking about birth control. This is from Tuesday's paper yesterday. Pope, no need to breed like a rabbits. That's right. We hope they hear you in the Philippines, Popey, and in Mexico and Latin America, where the people are born pregnant. Go Popey. I can't believe it, Philo. I never thought I would see the day. He's not endorsing birth control. Well, Catholic birth control he is. Pope Francis said that Catholics have a moral responsibility to limit the number of children and need not reproduce like rabbits. He said they should practice responsible parenting. He said there's plenty of church-approved ways to regulate the births. He said no outside institution should impose its views on family size, but he blasted the ideological colonization of the developing world. Let's see. The Pope's comments, including his defense on the ban of contraception, signal he was showing his more conservative side. He cited the case of a woman he met who was pregnant with her 8th child after 7 C-sections. That's because hubby wanted to keep at the playground nice and tight, you know? And it's an irresponsibility, the Pope said. God gives you methods to be irresponsible. He said there are many illicit ways of regulating births approved by the church, in apparent reference to monitoring a woman's cycle to avoid intercourse when she's ovulating. God gives you methods to be responsible. Okay, well, if God gives you the methods, Popey, maybe the church can pay for their basal thermometers. How's that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know, if you really want to get right down to it, Steve, it was pointed out to me by someone who has his doctorate in divinity that the Bible says nothing about birth contraception.
Nothing.
It only says once you have conceived, you're obligated to bring it to term. It doesn't say anything about prevention. As a matter of fact, most churches will tell you prevention is a good thing.
And they the only thing I could find was in Leviticus there's penalties, extra penalties for hurting a pregnant woman or making her abort the fetus, but
Leviticus Maximus?
Yeah, there is nothing in there about abortion. Anyways, here we are. This is from Diary of the Planet. 35% of the Arctic sea ice is gone, Philo.
Oh, don't get me started on that.
And the polar bears with it, and we got screaming, burning koala bears down under.
That's because they don't get enough Foster's beer.
Yeah, this Saturday, January 17th. Wildfire victims. Worst wildfires in 30 years in Australia. Many have been surviving. Many surviving animals have been left without food, water, access to shelter. Among the more heartbreaking images to come out of the 4-hour storm near Adelaide were photos of koalas being treated for burnt paws. The head of the rescue organization said when caught in a wildfire, koalas get to a point when there's so much pain they just sit at the bottom of a tree and scream. A public appeal for the people to make mittens for the burnt marsupials was quickly heeded. Most of the rescued koalas are expected to be returned to the wild. Yeah, but, you know, you watch the president's State of the Union. There's no global warming. It's a myth. Yeah, that's the Republicans, because the rich guys got to make some more bucks off of oil. And
hasn't the president always come out saying we should stop using fossil fuels?
Well, yeah, on the one hand, he says, we're producing more oil and gas than we ever have before. And then on the other hand, he says, well, we got to be careful over climate change. Well, what the hell? It's nuts. And right here in Vermont, Vermont's been awarded another $16 million grant to help farmers pay for projects designed to keep runoff and other pollution from reaching the lake. Oh, millions and millions and millions, more studies and more studies and more studies and more studies. And when Shummy talks about going after these eco-terrorists who call themselves farmers, oh, you should hear them scream. It's a nuts. We got salmon. Salmon in Oswego County are dying in high numbers, swimming in circles. They're returning from Lake Ontario. There's not enough alewives for them to eat, and they're missing thiamine, which turns into vitamin B. Unbelievable. That's got nothing to do with the pollution in the water in the lake, though. No, it's a vitamin B deficiency. Oh, so we're just going to go around and inject every salmon you see. Oh, sure. It's that simple. Recent generations of polar bears have been observed moving higher in the Canadian Arctic in response to climate change and the melting of sea ice. Lead researchers, let's see, they've been migrating for the past 15 to 45 years. Lead researcher Elizabeth Peacock said the bears have chosen the areas because it's more resilient to summer melt. Concluded the regions closest to the North Pole could serve as a last refuge for the bears, which need the ice to travel, forage, and mate, along with the walruses, too. No sea ice, no walruses. It's that simple. I went over that with Charlie in the first show that we did here in 2009, people. Come on. Let's see. The Arctic sea ice has declined in autumn by more than 9% per decade. That's 10 years for those of you who are stupid. Every year since 1979. Climate models predict that even the northernmost parts of the Arctic will be ice-free before 2050. And we're okay with that because, you know, the rich dicks got to make it the money. And what's one of our favorite topics, Philo?
When drunks attack.
When drunks attack. And here we are, right here. This vodka girl got 4 years for murder. 4 years for a vodka stabbing where she passed out with blood all over her. That's okay, right? That's just. I mean, you get 5 years for, possession of heroin, but murder, man, you can be out in 4, no problem. Camera 2.
Hey, I got a good story for you.
Yeah?
My granddaughter is doing her internship over at Fletcher Allen.
Yep.
And over the weekend, she's working in the emergency room as part of her training.
Oh, man.
And a young woman came in with her leg mangled so bad that she had to, well, of course, the woman was knocked out by this time. And she had to hold the leg up while this doctor basically put 2 steel rods in it because it had broken in so many places. And then the doctor said to her, you know what I'm going to tell her when she wakes up? Don't drink and drive.
Wow.
Mangled so bad they had to put 2 steel rods in her leg.
And it was from a car crash, drunk?
That's all I know. She didn't say any more.
Huh.
But yeah, it was some sort of it had to be a car accident. Imagine that.
Oh, yeah. She spends.
Drink and make yourself stupid.
Oh, yeah. 6 years in prison for second-degree murder charge. No contest, Your Honor. She turns 24 today, spend the next 6 years in prison. Excuse me, not 4. She was arrested in February. No contest. We got David Slay. Hey, it was state's attorney Ben Luna. Go Ben, you got the conviction. But still, it's not right.
What was this? He got convicted?
Pardon me?
What? So wait a minute. Ben Luna got the conviction?
Yeah.
Over David Slay?
Yeah, it was a plea bargain.
Oh, a plea. Oh, that's different.
Yeah.
So what was the offense supposedly?
Murder.
Murder? What a little thing like that.
Yeah.
Why aren't they out arresting druggies?
Can't we move forward, people? We don't want to look backwards. Never mind the corpse sitting over there with all the blood coming out of it. We got to move forward. It's like Bush and Cheney and the war crimes. We don't, we got to move forward. We can't look backwards. You can't. Oh, yeah. According to the Vermont State Police, Maxfield told investigators she suffered from a mental illness, had been drinking heavily the day of McCafferty's death, and had no recollection of stabbing him, though she assumed she did it. She said she had passed out after drinking and woke up later to find blood on her hands and under her fingernails, and the house was ruined. Oh, yeah. She's very intelligent, made a reasonable decision to plead guilty. Oh, sure. Obviously, the case has been devastating to her, said David Slay. Oh, yeah. Well, it's kind of devastating to the guy she stabbed, you think?
Yep. So what does she get for a sentence?
6 years.
It's just like somebody else we know killed her husband.
Oh yeah, on purpose.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a worst. And here's another one. This is from today's paper also, Wednesday, January 21st. We're getting screwed by the ski area leases, Philo.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, right there. See that? Yeah. Report, state not getting full benefit of ski area leases. Let's see. We used to get a portion of the lift tickets, but now that they've gone 4 seasons and have developments, goods, services, property value, the lease payments to the state declined by 14% between 2003 and 2013. But property near the ski areas increased in value by 150%. It's insane. It's insane. So we're getting boned. We're getting boned by the ski areas.
Bone me.
Oh. Oh.
That was a radio station on XM called
Yeah.
the Boneyard.
Oh yeah.
And people were always yelling, "Bone me."
Bone me! I don't have the authority to tell you we're just going to tear those up and make new ones about the leases, said Snyder. But Parker Reel, president of the Vermont Skiers, said leases in the current form are a tremendous economic benefit to the state. All the lease arrangements have also led to the preservation of land and wildlife. Oh, please. Don't whiz on my feet and tell me it's raining, you jackalopes. I hope they have the governor looks into it, man, because, they should. They should be paying more. And here we are. The March on Washington. Oh yeah, Burlington honors the legacy of Martin Luther King. When I was a kid, after 1967, they called him Martin Lucifer Coon because he was a communist and he had come out against the Vietnam War. And he called the United States the greatest purveyor of violence on the planet today, boys and girls. And he was right.
Hear a good one, Steve?
Yeah.
There are 3 states that
oh yeah, they have Robert E. Lee Day.
Yeah, and it's they celebrate Robert E. Lee Day along with Martin Luther King Day, and it's Arkansas, Alabama, and Mississippi.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, and Democracy
one of the last
Now.
states, though, one of the last states to approve that
New Hampshire.
was New Hampshire. Yeah, they wanted to call it Civil Rights Day.
Oh yeah, of course. We don't got no black people in Cow Hampshire. Hell no. And read his Beyond Vietnam speech, boys and girls. And they if you go to Democracy Now! And punch in Monday's show, you can watch and listen to a speech they just found. It's been gone since 1964. It was recorded on December 7th, 1964, right before he got his Nobel Peace Prize. And he talks about apartheid, no nuclear weapons. And what happens? The first black president we got, he's ready to spend $1 trillion, that's $1,000 billion, to upgrade our nuclear weapons arsenal.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody's got to do it.
That's good, right?
Yep.
Oh, sure. And here we are. These are today's activists. They go into restaurants, recite the names of people killed by police, and ask diners to stand in support. It's harder to cripple a movement by cutting off its head, as many believe happened when King was assassinated in '68. You can't kill all of us, said Hansford. And here's the Dream Defenders, Phil Agnew. He said King's style at local campaigns with national impact, and it's the war, the poor, and Palestine too. This black kid just got back from Palestine, where you can watch cousins beating the hell out of their own cousins. Because, hey, we're the chosen people. Hey, hey, hey. And it's part of the Black Lives Matter. Let's see, who wrote this? Tutu said, this is Desmond's daughter, said, "We deserve better. When the police are able to disarm grown men with guns without harming them and then shoot a 12-year-old child on a playground with a toy gun, we've all lost a part of our humanity." You think? That's okay. And, oh yeah, speaking of Cow Hampshire, Guess what, Philo?
What's that?
They're dropping the alcohol labeling so that they can show kids on the bottle. See there's breakfast beer. Oh, sure.
Oh, I love that. That's just so incredibly good.
Yeah. We want to push the booze. State Senate Representative Keith Murphy of Bedford. Bedford is a big money town outside of Manchester, okay? Who also is the proprietor of Murphy's Tap Room in Manchester. No kidding. The measure would allow images of kids on alcoholic beverage packaging as long as the Liquor Commission determines it isn't meant to entice minors to drink.
Oh, now we're getting somewhere.
Okay, sure. I sell $1 million of beer a year, and it breaks my heart that I can't take this beer home with me.
Take this beer and shove it.
Yeah. Under the law, the founder's baby is being equated to founder's brewery baby is being equated to Joe Camel, which was outlawed if they tried to recruit young smokers. The federal government and most states prohibit alcohol labeling or advertising that targets minors. Yeah, baloney. Baloney they do. They say they do, but they don't. They don't. You know, everybody. I mean, the booze commercials now, they're going friggin' day and night because of the cable law. Let's see. James Wilson, Division of Enforcement and Licensing for the New Hampshire Liquor Commission, said the commission opposes the legislation. So there's somebody sober in Cow Hampshire. The current language offers the commission a bright line standard to make those determinations. Yeah, there's somebody sober in New Hampshire, at least.
Well, one person anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know who it is, but somebody.
And here we are. Vermont man dies while in Puerto Rico. Alcohol overdose. Died from alcohol intoxication. This is all right. Just for the naysayers, right there. It's right there under my finger. Thanks, Philo. Saturday's paper, January 17th. Police in Puerto Rico say a tourist from Vermont apparently died from alcohol intoxication during a 4-day festival in San Juan. 35-year-old Han Spalding of Isle Lamont was found unresponsive in the bathroom of a bar in Old San Juan on the opening day of the San Sebastian Festival. Okay. And same thing with, they found a 52-year-old guy got struck trying to cross the street in St. Albans. And they found the car down the road. Go figure. I wasn't driving it. I wasn't driving it. I was out drinking.
I was too busy getting drunk.
Yeah, we're all in the back singing. And here it is, too. Here's another one. Beer for girls and boys. Vermont Girls Pint Out. Isn't that cute, Philo? Girls Pint Out. Okay. Unbelievable. A 14th Star Brewing Company, Northern Bayou, a co-ed event in the state. Try a Girl Stout out, a mocha-flavored brew. Oh, my God. Mocha-flavored beer. Ah! Hoo! 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 And last but not least, regarding booze, they busted, in Corinth, they busted an East Orange man named Mohamedou Ndione. Ndione. Mohamedou. Damn it, I told you, Mohamedou. It's your third DUI. And he crashed too. Go figure. Mohamedou Ndione is due in Vermont Superior Court. Troopers Heather Flowers said he lost control of his vehicle, crashed off Vermont Route 25 at 4:35 a.m. There were signs of intoxication noted, and after performing the field sobriety exercises, the BAC was shown to be 0.21%, and the legal limit is 0.08. That's almost 3 times over, Philo, right?
Well, it's getting there, yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Yeah, let's see, do that in the Congo, Mohammed. And here, go figure. The Coneheads hate cannabis and hemp too. Report says legal marijuana would help drive tourists to Vermont. Well, you think? I mean, come on. If we can grow fruit and vegetables and we're allowed to have these stupid breweries on every street corner, then why can't adults, You know, if it's been shown in the other states that if you legalize it and regulate it, then the kids won't be able to get it as easy because it's all underground now. Unbelievable. State could see a big windfall from early legalization. Let's see. And of course, you've got the usual naysayers, you know. Shumley's in favor of it. It could bring in 125 to 225 million a year. Dave Zuckerman's going to sponsor the bill. We struck out, of course, T.J. Donovan. This is the same T.J. that's led off the football players for pooping other football players with pool cues and drinking and stuff. He lets them go. You know, that's the same T.J. Donovan. He's saying, we struggle right now prosecuting cases with people allegedly under the influence of drugs, and I think this complicates it. Keith Flynn says he's going to follow the evidence. Hey, you know, how do you test people for it? Easy. You ask them to walk and talk. Like my buddy the Chips CHP guy said, the drunks drive too fast, the stoners drive too slow, and the rest of the people swerving are either eating McFood or putting on makeup.
Or on their cell phones.
Oh, or both. Yeah, all of the above.
Texting.
Bob Bick, executive director of the Howard Center, which bilks this state out of millions of dollars annually. Bob Bick said, let's see, they're historically determined that substances adults in this country are permitted to consume that aren't necessarily related to the effects of individuals or communities, and I think marijuana is one of those substances. What the hell did he just say? Okay, I'm going to repeat that for those of you not on drugs. Bob Bick from the Howard Center said he has no position on weed legalization. Now, this is from a guy, a mental health guy, and he can't even put together a sentence that makes sense, boys and girls. He says, there are historic cultural influences that have determined what substances adults in this country are permitted to consume that aren't necessarily related to the effects to individuals or communities. And I think weed is one of those substances.
I think I need to hear it again.
For real?
That didn't make much sense to me.
It doesn't. There are historic cultural influences that have determined what substances adults in this country are permitted to consume that aren't necessarily related to the effects to individuals or communities. And I think weed is one of them. And then Mary Alice Mackenzie, now this is the same Mackenzie family that was peddling Mackenzie's of Vermont meat. All right, they get this meat from Pennsylvania. They used to put a Vermont label on it and then say, oh, it's Vermont made. They fought the Vermont labeling law tooth and nail. All they have is a little P.O. box over in Burlington. That Mackenzie family. Mary Alice Mackenzie, executive director of the Girls and Girls Club, is an opponent. She worries how legal weed might yet become a challenge for low-income children. Well, if they're low-income children and they learn how to dig and grow and trim buds, then they might actually work their way out of poverty, Mary Alice. You kidding me? What the hell? How much more difficult for these children to succeed will this be if access is made easier? But I have to be honest, I think Vermont must face a prevention issue whether we legalize or not. The Ways and Means Committee is to hear testimony on Friday on the tax and regulation on the reports released. Unbelievable. Okay. Yeah, we're stupid. Did I tell you? We're stupid. We're stupid. Did I tell you? We're stupid. Uh-huh. And speaking of stupid, Philo, I gotta put on my army hat here. We are men of the Green Beret. We're too stupid to stay. Here it is, right here. Couple captured $4 million in recruiting bonus program from the U.S. Army. The U.S. Army, too stupid to stop, they said. It was a scam. $4 million almost. The Army paid a Texas couple nearly $4 million for supplying it with names of recruits who may have enlisted without their help. A senator called it mind-blowing waste of taxpayer money. The Army's referral bonus program was hatched in 2006 during the darkest days of the war in Iraq and Afghanistan and buried in 2009. Paid as much as $2,000 per recruit. Okay. Hey. Military investigators branded the scheme sleazy but legal, said Claire McCaskill. The guy's name is Rene Agosto, a former sergeant, and his wife Vanessa Augusto. That's Italian for August, boys and girls, or Spanish. The site, Latin rather, whatever. The site, designed to look like the government-run Army online portal, attracted potential recruits and encouraged them. You know what the only trouble that the Army had with this site, Philo, was? Trademark infringement.
No.
Yeah. There was pressure and stress about getting enough recruits. The Army is embarrassed. I think it's very awkward. These multimillionaires are continuing to get more taxpayer money. Unbelievable. Bonuses became a widely used tool to attract new soldiers, with billions spent to lure them. It featured images and the official slogan, Army Strong, get a free consultation, said the screenshot, and unbelievable. The recruits would have likely joined it without these people. Let's see, the official Army.com site, that's the name of it, officialarmy.com, came to the attention of Army officials in 2007, not because of large payments, but because the Army trademark infringement worked with the Augustos to avoid problems. Oh, yeah. Where does it say they were too stupid to start? It was sloppy and dumb. It was a waste of taxpayer money. And they were too stupid to stop. They made $3.845 million off of you and you and you and me and them and everybody else. That's part of our Defense Department. And, oh yeah, guess what comes out for Christmas, Philo?
Oh.
The Sniper movie.
Huh?
Yo, yeah, American Sniper, come out for Christmas release. Well, you know what, boys and girls? Real heroes save lives. They don't take them. There's the guy who played the guy. And here it is right here. Here's another one. American Sniper astounds with $105 million over MLK weekend. Oh, yeah, that's right. Xmas release of Christmas movie. You know, and what happened to this guy, Terry, when he came back from the wars?
They won't want to tell you that.
He got shot by a wacko Marine at a firing range in Texas. And last but not least, who would Jesus kill? They're talking about big money from the faith-based audiences. Who would Jesus kill, boys and girls? That's right.
Akbar.
Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
Admiral Akbar, please.
It's unbelievable. What worked in Sniper's favor is it played well across demographics. This is a Clint Eastwood movie, of course. And including underserved faith-based audiences drawn to its Christian lead character, Chris Kyle, the sniper, and its patriotic message. Okay, yeah. Oh, faith-based, my butt. You know what, you hypocrites, you scumbags? Unbelievable. When Jesus comes back, man, you better run. That's all I can say. It's unbelievable. Underserved faith-based audiences drawn to his Christian themes. Right. Who would Jesus snipe? Hey, and did you see who gave the after Obama speech last night, Philo?
No, who did?
The hog-nut-biting welfare queen. That's right. Joni Ernst, right there, the hog-nut biter. And she's a welfare queen. Her family farm got it's not 400. I'm wrong. It's 400. She got over $500,000. Not every year, but you have to go look it up on the interweb. And she's the one who said, "Oh, we had to put bread bags over our shoes, and and we were so poor, and blah blah blah. And I used to castrate hogs when I was a kid."
Probably do some men if she could.
Yeah.
I knew one in this area that would have loved to.
She's a welfare bum, okay? A welfare bum. Can you say corporate welfare, boys and girls?
Corporate welfare. Doesn't this sound great?
Yeah. Oh, man. And what is our state senator doing, John Rogers, Philo?
I don't know. I saw him at a legislative breakfast, and I still don't know.
Yeah.
He's trying to get beagles listed as the state dog.
Okay.
Now, anybody who's ever had a beagle, you know what happens. Just like in that movie, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? A beagle will RUNNOFT. That's right.
You go to any country store around here, anywhere, you look on the placard or posting thing, you're going to see a sign that says, missing beagle. Because I'll tell you, I had one when I was a kid. That's what they do. They get so hipped up and off they go, and they go so far that unless they got another dog to find their lame butts back, they're gone. They'll just find somebody. If they're cute enough, they'll just find somebody else to live with.
Well, that's good thing they're cute, huh?
Pardon me?
Good thing they're cute. They could be something like an English bulldog, and nobody wants those things.
Yeah. Yeah, really. Senator John Rogers introduced the bill Tuesday on behalf of beagle-owning constituents. In a petition, 200 beagle lovers and rabbit hunters endorsed the breed as very loyal and hardworking, just like Vermonters. Yeah, and they leave the state to earn a decent living, just like Vermonters.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I thought I would introduce it for him, and I thought it would just kind of quietly slide into oblivion. Oh, yeah, there's your tax dollars at work. How much you get to go down the State House, Rogers? What is it, $500 a week for 3-4 days a week, Rogers? Huh? And this is all you can come up with? Huh? Unbelievable. At least Bobby Starr, it's like my father said, with at least Bobby Starr, it's better to keep your mouth shut and be thought an idiot than open it and remove all doubt. Unbelievable. Instead, he said the bill earned him a ribbing from his colleagues, media attention, and good-natured pushback from fans of other dogs. Okay.
Good going.
And here's Senator Spermhe. That's right. Senator Leahy, the guy whose staffer flew the
Frozen splooge from the Cuban prisoner from California down to Panama and had it injected in the Cuban spy's wife. That's right, Senator Spermhe. Yeah,
he wants the Black Panthers. They've got get this, they got a Black Panther Party and a Black Liberation Army member known as Assata Shakur, who's convicted in 1977 of killing a New Jersey state trooper. Now, mind you, she said the cops had shot the guy she was with, and she was standing there with her hands up, and he shot at her and shot her once, too. Now, that doesn't sound like cops, right? Does it, Terry? Hell no. Cops wouldn't do that. They wouldn't shoot people with their hands up. Oh, hell no.
They shoot them with a gun.
Yeah.
I'm a bad man, Steve.
That's it. She escaped and fled to Cuba, as Bernie says. And
no, that would be Scott Wheeler.
Yeah.
Maybe Scott Wheeler, believe me.
Yeah, he's got it bad too. He's got the woodchuck. Ask Scotty to say "Heel Neil Brown Cow." He'll tell you. Heel Neil Brown Cow.
What the heck is up with that guy and his gut hanging out?
Oh yeah, you like that?
Holy.
Yeah.
You know what he has? He has a disease, It's called Dunlop's disease because his belly Dunlopped over his belt.
Yeah, he Dunlopped his... I've seen people with ears like that. They Dunlopped over. Unbelievable. Yeah. TV doctors reveal the real causes of weight gain and why 47% of us are still fat. You're still fat because you're eating crap. You're going up to you're buying McFood and eating the McMeat like this porker here.
Hey, I got a good one for you, Steve. You're going to like this.
Sure.
Last week, I went over next door to Cumbies, and I got a bacon cheeseburger.
Oh.
And because I was just hungry, I just needed something quick. So I come back, and I says to Todd, who's a vegetarian, by the way, I said to him, you can go over there and buy one of these bacon cheeseburgers and still say you're a vegetarian because I don't think there's any meat in it.
Yeah, really.
It was something. I'm not sure what it was.
Speaking of which, Philo, I started going back to those what do you call them? The soy patties again, and they taste like hamburgers. But they're made out of soy, and they've got veggies and stuff in them. And here we are, Shummy and the tax commissioner
this hag will not let out the name of the people who owe millions of dollars in taxes. That's right. So now we call her a game of crones. It's like, my God, woman, you know?
Shummies told her to release the names. The State House said she could release them, and she should, yet she won't do it. Let's see. Public shaming sadly works, Clarkson said. Tax Commissioner Mary Peterson briefed the House. The overdue taxes owed by the top 100 persons and businesses. Let's see. Oh, we're not sure if the data is reliable. Oh, yeah. Unfairly pointing at someone with the same name as a tax delinquent. Here we are. The 200 accounts owe the Vermont Treasury $25 million. The 100 businesses owe $13 million, while the 100 individuals owe $12 million. More than $140 million is owed by delinquent taxpayers that are not under appeal. We've got a $140 million deficit, and we got $140 million in outstanding unpaid taxes. What's that called, Philo? A no-brainer?
I think it's probably called highway robbery.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Yep.
And here it is again. Issue sent to the Attorney General's office. Tax
Department delays the list of amounts owed. Yeah, that's right.
Mary Peterson said no. I'm not saying because they're rich people and, you know, they deserve a fair shake. We don't want them to do it. Meh.
And here we are. Thursday, January 15th. Ex-firefighter sentenced for probation for embezzlement. That's right. The guy was 35-year-old Jeff Cochran, president of the International Association of Firefighters, Local 881 in Barrie. Pled guilty December 30th. It doesn't say how much he stole even. Several $1,000s, that's all. We don't know how much, you know?
Nope.
Oop, nope. And here we are. Online sting. Guns go to the wrong people. And speaking of which, I guess I made the Chronicle. I'm going to have to buy one.
Now, mind you, it's a fake ads. They're fake studies. They got people to email stupid stuff to these people.
This one Chuck emailed him and said that he had been ripped off by drugs by another person, and he chased him around town, ramming his car, noting if he had a gun, he would have shot the guys because he had nothing to lose. You know, it's a fake ads. It's called Every Town for Gun Safety. Mind you, 7 of the 169 people featured were prohibited for possessing firearms. Oh, sure. Every Town for Gun Safety. I smell a Bloomberg here somewhere.
Mayor Bloomberg was only the 6th richest man in America.
Yeah, I smell a Bloomberg, Philo.
Yep.
And here we are. Battle lines drawn over gun legislation. That's right. The whining pigs want you disarmed. Yes, you're going to be a felon. We're going to take away your voting rights. We're going to take away everything because the more felonies we got, we're going to come up with more laws so that you can't vote. You have to pay fines to the system to keep these fascist pigs in business. And then then they can take your guns away legally too. President pro tempore John Campbell, Democrat of Windsor, Phil Baruth, and Claire Ayer of Addison said the proposed state law would mirror federal gun laws. Now, mind you, this is the same John Campbell who milks the county of Windsor down there near Brattleboro for $50,000, $60,000 a year as a extra prosecutor or whatever. So he's writing laws in Montpelier to drum up more business so that he can put more money in his wallet and his butt off of you and you and you and you. More laws equals more money for old Campbell.
Okay, Steve, 5 minutes to Admiral Akbar.
All right, thank you, Philo. I'm going to keep that one for my buddy. And here we are. Caregivers who fail to report child abuse could face a felony.
Well, you know what? They said the same thing when they made it a law a few years ago. Oh, yeah, we're going to make it a law, and that way if you don't report it, you could be busted. Well, you know what? Nobody reported it, and nobody got busted.
And the bad side of that is you report it, and you're wrong, and the next thing you know, you got a lawsuit on your hands.
Yeah, well, oddly enough, Terry, I mean, you know, what's worse? I would want to err on the side of caution, right?
Yep, that's true. But unfortunately, the way things work now, it's a double-edged sword, as my brother-in-law would say, and it's true. You know, you can be sure in your mind, and it turns out to be false, and you end up with a lawsuit. So.
Yeah, but you know how hard it is to file a lawsuit? I mean, really.
Yep.
It's not as easy as changing your socks. And here we are. 4th former footballer settles case. That's right.
You know, here's your team spirit, boys and girls. Join the team and have the jocks poop you with sticks. Go, team spirit! Oh, let's poop them with sticks.
Yeah, that's right over there in Milton, yeah.
Yeah, fellow football player declined to be part of the process. And one of the kids, Ryan Carlson, Kobe Darling, settled their cases. And Jordan Prevey, the mother of Jordan Prevey, sat in the courtroom. Prevey committed suicide on August 28, 2012.
3 minutes to Admiral Akbar. 3 minutes. And 1 mac and cheese.
Oh, we got plenty of time. Plenty of time. Here we are. Rabbi, why can't we be like first world
countries? You know, where's the ministers? Only the rabbi stood up for the health care law, Philo.
Political failure is one thing, said Rabbi Joshua Chasen. The denial of health care that is universal, accessible, and affordable is more than a political failure. It is what we call a sin.
Yeah, go Rabbi. All right.
Go Rabbi. And here we are. Backlash against the new Hebdo issue. Swift debunk Muslims.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Look at them go! Blasphemy! Blasphemy! Off with their heads! Off with their heads!
These people are insane. It's insane. They're like Amish people with AK-47s. Yeah, Amish people with AK-47s on crack. Yeah. And they don't say anything. Here it is. No free speech in Saudi Arabia. Saudi officials say that they can't blog. They can't flog the blogger. And look at this too. Oh yeah, we're gonna let girls in the special forces. They can't do 3 pull-ups, but you know they're gonna be in the special forces. This is insane. Saudi authorities postponed the second round of a public flogging of a blogger convicted of insulting Islam after a doctor concluded that his wounds from the first 50 lashes that January 9th hadn't healed. Amnesty International said they administered 50 new lashes to Raif Badawi. The group said Badawi was taken to the clinic and the doctor said he wouldn't withstand another round. According to the group, the doctor recommended his flogging to be postponed a week. What kind of doctor? Isn't that a violation of the Hippocratic Oath, Philo?
It's called hypocritic, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you think?
Yep. Okay, 1 minute and Admiral Akbar will be here.
Okay, let's see, what do we got here? Geezer's in the freezer. Dump that Trump. Hard times for Atlantic City. You know,
why do they keep having Donald Trump on for financial, advice and stuff like that?
Because he's the biggest jerk there is.
Yeah, no, he's a failure. He's a failure.
Atlantic City is circling the bowl, boys and girls. And look at this.
Living longer, my ass. That's right. 40, 54, 56.
It's insane. Yeah, I don't know how many casinos they shut down. Trump, Taj Mahal is gone. Oh, yeah, let's see. All these casinos are gone. It lost half its revenue in the past 8 years. And down 48%. Now, why is it down 48%? I mean, you know, wouldn't you want to go give your hard-earned money away? Just stick it in the machine with all the bright lights on it?
Okay, the Admiral has arrived, Steve.
Okay. All right, come here, Mac. Well, hopefully we'll see you again next week. God willing, inshallah, the creek don't rise. And until then, watch the Darktown Strutters and say, head east, pray to the invisible sky god of your choice and say, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar!
We're gonna stay until we soothe our soul, if it takes all that long. Come on and let the good times roll. We're gonna stay until we soothe our soul, if it takes all that long. The evening sun is sinking low. The clock on the wall good times roll. We're gonna stay until we soothe our soul, if it takes all night long.